Good morning. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. We didn't go anywhere. Kids came up on Saturday. We did our Christmas Saturday because when you've got grown kids and they've got kids and they've got grandkids, then they want to do Christmas at their house on Christmas Day, and I understand. So they came up to our house on Saturday. I just wanted to give y'all a quick look at how fast these onions are growing, and I have a few cloves of elephant garlic in there with them. Some of them I did plant in there, and some of them were from cromes, I think, that were left in. One of them might have been a pearl I replanted. I can't remember. Anyway, there's a few stalks of elephant garlic there. They're doing really well, and the ones that I direct seeded myself, not direct seeded in this bed, but seeded in those little planter things inside, they're doing great too. They're growing like crazy, and I'm slowly moving some of this celery to other places in the yard or in the garden because it's going to shade out the onions. It's growing like crazy as well. These were all direct seeded. Every onion in here was direct seeded. And all the leeks. The leeks are on the left, the onions are all on the right, in the middle and the right. And they're looking good. We had a torrential downpour, and the trees are still, those oak trees are still dropping their leaves like crazy. And we have some cabbages beginning to head up here, if you look real close there. And soon have some broccoli, and you can see I have celery all in this bed. And some collards, kale, more collards, more broccoli, more cabbage, and a whole mess of carrots here. I hadn't even pulled one up to see if we got any size on the roots. And that mustard's looking beautiful, don't you think? I may cook Danny some of that for supper. And I think the purple cabbage always takes longer for some reason. It's getting the same fertilizer as the green, but I only got a couple of purple. I'm trying to figure out what I did with the other purple. There were two in here, and I took one of them out and put it somewhere. I don't see it. I guess I'll find it sooner or later, huh? Got everything planted too close because when you got very little space, you have to make the best of what you got. Got some broccoli here that should soon start putting on some heads, and then there's some smaller broccoli you can see in there that'll hopefully will come out and make some heads after this bigger broccoli's taken out. And I still got some mustard in here, I see. Just a little. The chickens would love to have it, and I'd love to give it to them, so get that out of the way. It won't be taking up space. Hey girls, y'all want some mustard? There you go. And got more broccoli over here, more cabbage, more kale, more mustard. And as you can see, the weeds and the grass is taking it over. And my hardneck garlic's looking good now. I don't know if it'll ever make cloves. I kept it in the refrigerator for 2 months before I planted it. Covered it with straw so the dirt would stay cool. And hopefully it's going to make it. And I've got some onions planted right here. They're looking very good too. They're putting on a lot of new leaves. Growing like crazy, and they're not, well, today nothing's getting any sun, but they get about an hour and a half of sun in the morning. Actually, all this gets about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max, but now the days will start getting a little longer, and they'll start getting more sun. And I have onions and broccoli and kale and cabbage in here. And I probably shouldn't have put the onions in there with them, but I just ran totally out of space. Totally. And as you can see, my potatoes that's growing over there are still growing. They're being eaten on terribly by something, and I think it's slugs. But I don't want to put down any slug bait or anything to, I just don't want to contaminate the ground that they're in. I may have to spray them with some pyrethrin or something because they are just decimating them. They have to have the foliage above ground to make any tubers underground. That's for sure. These noisy hens, if I'm out here, they're going to be close. They're going to come to wherever they hear my voice. I could cook him that mustard today, or I could cook those turnips. And they're very overcrowded, so I probably should cook him some turnips. And I'm going to force myself to eat whatever I cook. Even though I don't like them, I made some homemade pepper sauce over the summer with all those hot peppers. I'll just douse them down good with that. And I'll eat them anyway. We better start learning to like a lot of what we didn't. We've been so spoiled in this country. So spoiled. I had a couple of onions that was from last year that sprouted. I stuck them in here hoping maybe they'll go to seed, and I'll just collect some seed and see what I can grow out. They're hybrid onions, so you wouldn't know what you're going to get. It would just be something you mess around with to see. If the Lord permits, I'm around next year. Well, to me, everything looks good because I saw it from tiny little babies to where it is now. And I'm so thankful for it. You probably won't hear from me again before the new year. And I hope and pray everybody that tuned into this channel, came across this channel, or has subscribed to this channel, has a blessed and wonderful 2024. You keep looking up.